What's up, everybody? Welcome to Clutch's Corner. Let's go ahead and get straight into everything I'm looking at for tomorrow. So start things off, I'm looking at AMD. Now, there's a lot of price targets here, but you have to just be aware of there are highs of the days here. This is an actionable signal, the 3122 reversal that's being played out. So there's going to be pivots in between this, but because of range, if it does start off at its closing tomorrow and it keeps going up, and it totally has the power to reach all the way up here. So that's why there are, some farther away price targets than maybe what you normally see after a bunch of really tight ones. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right on into it. So there is this one that I got right here, but my goodness, if you look through this area, it is just chop city through here. So I did end up zooming into the 5 and finding a price target right in there for just extra precaution. I want to stay above that, and then I'm good for profit, or maybe even could use this for a repositioning. Top of this candle right in here, top of this candle right in here, and top of this candle right in here. We're look, just the wick in here, all of this wicking through it in here. Even over here, these two are not able to stay above this, not able to stay above it. Top of this one right in here, where all of these same spots are having trouble wicking through it. And then the top of here, then we're going to expand beyond that. And these are just going to be found on some simple daily time frames, right? With the right here being where this one is, where these two things are wicking off of it. This one is unable to finish above it, but then that is the final PT as well. And that's if AMD has an explosive day tomorrow, to be honest. It would really need to have an explosive day. But with that being said, I am looking at the 182.50 strike. Now, keep in mind, even though tomorrow is Thursday, all of these are 0-day expiration contracts. So that's why I am suggesting the 5th of April's contracts. 182.50 is sitting very pretty. If you do want to risk it for tomorrow, these are very inexpensive contracts. Just be aware of how 0-day expiration contracts work, right? 180 is the strike price that I'm choosing for Amazon. I really like the price of next week's. I love the delta on it. I love everything about it. And I love the actionable signal that it's giving with humongous exhaustion. Came to the downside, hit this wall right here and said, never mind, and just kept going all the way back up. So tomorrow, if we can continue that movement, this is the areas that I believe that we can take out. PT coming from the top of this one, the top of this two, and the top of this two. Because of range, we're extending a little bit further. But then we're going to zoom into the 30-minute time frame here to see where there are some earlier pivots coming from. Right here, I can't ignore this. Why can't I ignore it? Look at how much trouble it has around this area. So we definitely got to get past this before we can reach above these areas and get to here. So this is why PT1 is right here. It is close, it's 17 cents away, but hey, an algorithm is an algorithm and it's there. After that, of course, we have those highs of the days like we discussed. You can see this giant wick right here with this bad boy. This is where that other price target is coming from, where we were pushing up, we stopped and immediately started pushing down. So the next time we start coming up to this area, we're going to have to be aware that we could start pushing down from here. And if we break through it, we know the algorithm's broken. If we reject off of it, we know the algorithm is still in play. So Amazon looks really good. I'm actually really excited for both Amazon and AMD. They're two of my favorite setups, with them being a 3122 rev and a 2122 rev. But we do have some juicy failed twos for those that love failed twos on things like BABA. I am going to be suggesting the 72 strike right here. Very affordable price. You'll be in the money by the time you hit PT3, which is not that far away, and it totally has the range to do this. Going into the 30-minute time frame, we can start seeing where price targets are coming from. Think right off the top of this 3, I say this almost every day. If it's a 3, it's more than likely got a strong algorithm at the top and the bottom of it. If it does break this, though, then we'll come test this bad boy. Then we'll test the top of that day. But there is a big gap in between these two areas. So I did zoom into the 5 to see hey, what's going on in here? Is there anything that I should be aware of? And yes, look, we start pushing up. We hit the VWAP here, but we create a big wick on it and then push all the way back down. Same thing right in here. We're going sideways, 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 sideways. We hit something here. It's the bottom of that algorithm. Now it's the top, and it pushes down with the velocity. So that is where the price targets are coming from for BABA. And I really like this setup as well for BABA. I really, really do. Because of this, Look at that. Waking off of it, waking off of it, waking off of it. 3 wicks off of this point right here. Come on now. This thing's more than likely going up tomorrow. And if it cracks beneath the stop loss and it breaks through this trend line right here, then we could see some big movement to the downside. But we got to just go with what price is doing, and it's bouncing off of this and pushing up. So let's push up with it. Let's get some calls and make some money off of BABA tomorrow. Right. BIDU is back at it. Snapchat it. 105 is where I'm suggesting you're literally going to be at the money. That is the exact dollar and to the penny of where entry is. So, you know, it just doesn't get any easier than that. Love buying things when it's at the money and then immediately going in the money. Right, so going into the 30-minute time frame, we see this one right here. This is going to be where PT1 is, PT2, PT3, and PT4. This is a classic case of steps that are just a little rearranged, right? We're not seeing too much algorithmic stuff happening here, but what you are being prepared for is for people that are in puts to have stop losses here, 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 and here along the way. Or they might re-enter their positions again and push it back down. So you just got to be aware that there are areas in these spots where the people that are inputs are going to have some decisions to make. Protect their position or let it go. That being said, we're going to move over to Google. How Google's been making us money every day. We made money on calls here. We made money on puts today, and maybe we'll make some money on calls tomorrow if this thing pushes back up. Going into the 30-minute time frame, we do see it as chop freaking city through here. So that is why there is a very close price target. It is right here because none of this could stay past this price. We can't ignore it. We can't ignore it. I hope it goes past it and then I get more than freaking 10 cents out of Google tomorrow, but I can't ignore that there is an algorithm there that we are unable to push past during this particular time frame. That being said, after that, if we do break it, we'll reach past the top of this. We'll test this algorithm right in here. Then we have a big gap to here. So I went to the 5-minute time frame to start seeing where are some spots that it could easily pivot from. Top of this two right here, where we can see we're pushing up. And then we stopped, and then we just shot freaking down here. But it also coincides with right here. And then right here, look at how this can't get above it. This finally does. These can't get below it. Then it finally does, and it shoots down with a velocity. That is an algorithm. The top of this one right in here, where these things are all wicking through, I didn't want to be greedy and pick the top of this because here is where I believe it could trigger in a little bit earlier, that this was more than likely a false break. And for Google, I am going to be suggesting the 152.50. Love the price. Love everything about it. This is going to be something that I'm very much looking forward to tomorrow. All right, Tesla. Tesla looks great as well. Making a lot of money off of Tesla recently. 182.50 is where I'm going to be suggesting to buy the order at. You will be in the money in between PT1 and PT2, so that'll be really nice. However, if you want to be a little risky and go 0-day expiration contracts, they are very inexpensive for Tesla tomorrow. However, when they are very expensive, small stock movements become big price gouges and big percentages against you if it's moving against you, and for you if it's moving for you, they become big numbers and big percentages as well. So that's just what you got to be aware of whenever you're getting a 0-day expiration contract, is the volatility of it because of how cheap it is. First price target is going to be coming from right here. This bad boy will 1, 2, 3, 4 candles all go through, right? This can't stay above it. This can't stay above it. This finally does. This shoots down beneath it. This tests it again, and then we're done. Right in here. It is close, but guys, you can't ignore these. Can't ignore chop zones like this. Can't ignore where pivots can possibly be. Then we'll reach right here where this is going to be a very strong algorithm. As you can see, we wick it here, false break it here, and immediately dump beneath it. Then we do have this wick right in there for that. If it wasn't a false break and we do go and test that again with a total test, and the top of this candle right here, just for a little extra range that Tesla could possibly have. Tesla is something that does look good for tomorrow, in my opinion, especially since we're having so much trouble getting above this trend line. We finally did, and it looks like we're getting a retest off of it. Now, it's not a perfect retest. It didn't come down and hit it and then bounce off of it, but it is looking like it did retest it very close enough to make those calls look even more advantageous to me. OXY. OXY, I'm going to be suggesting the 65 strike price. You won't be in the money, but you will make money, right? You have a great delta on it. It is a very affordable contract. If you would like, buy it in the money and get the 64. You're going to get a much better delta. The price is not, exuberantly more in any way, shape, or form. This is a very affordable contract still, and you'll be in the money, and that intrinsic value of the delta will build so much more because you're in the money. And you're right, essentially, right? So going into the 30 minutos, start seeing PT1 is right in here. And look at this, it wicks off of it to the top side right in here. So can't ignore that there is an algorithm here, right? Can't ignore it. After that, we'll test the top of this 3 and the high of the day. But because of this 3 in here and this massive movement because of it, I did zoom into the 5 because I want to know where are some places it could pivot in the middle of that 3. Right here off of this 2, right in here, you can see we're going up. We hit right here and we immediately start coming down. So we're going to have to be aware of that later on. And then right here, and this is a really interesting spot because if you look at this, this is also the bottom over here where this is having a lot of trouble getting beneath it. Finally does, says oopsies, oopsies. And then finally we break it. And then over here, same thing is happening. Same wicking off of it right in here. It's not a coincidence. This has a lot of action on it. Why? Because it's got algorithms there. Simple as that. All right. So that is OXY. And then we're going to end things off with MU. Excuse me. Now, MU had a juicy fail 2 to the downside. It activated it and barely went anywhere and shot right back up. So to me, I see this as like, people took some of their profits. They continue to take some of their profits, and whoever the bulls are ready to continue the movement up that it's been having for quite some time, right? Whoever they are still pushing this up, it looks like. So I'll move with them rather than against them, right? You always want to move with the big money, and that is why you want to be paying attention to algorithms. So going into the 30-minute time frame, and again, I'm going to be suggesting the 120 strike price here. You could get the 121. It's a lot less expensive, and the delta is just fine for it. A 5-cent delta difference is nothing I would worry about. That is something that actually, now that I'm looking at this, I might even get the 121 and save myself like 40 extra bucks a contract for a 5 extra delta. To me, that's, I don't know. I'll get the cheaper one and pretty much get the same growth. With that being said, let's go to the 30-minute time frame, start seeing where some price targets are coming from. All right, bang, and boom. PT1 right in here, right? PT1 right in there. Very obvious that if you are in puts, you're gonna have a stop loss right in here, right? It starts working against you. You're gonna have a decision to make right in here. Top of this wick, which, come on, look at this freaking wick. That is massively telling us there's a wall here. And how can we confirm that? We can't close above it, and we can't close above it, right? So there's a very strong algorithm here. If we do break past that, we'll test this wick right in here, and then this wick right in here, where these things could not get past those area. MU looks very good for tomorrow as well. I do like long-legged dojis sometimes because you can sort of see a lot of what's going on in here in the story that this is telling. We went over MU. Perfect. All right. So God bless. I hope you make some money tomorrow. Congratulations to everybody that made some money today off of the signals. Anybody that is just watching these and learning and growing, congratulations to you too. And I'll see you soon. God bless. Have a great evening.